Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's Jack here by myself on the Footy 5. I want to talk about an interesting development during the Euros. Manuel Locatelli, a guy whose stock has risen probably more than anybody, and I'm the classic Premier League fan. I tune into some international footy. I watch a nice player play for a team, for a nation, I should say, and I think, ooh, he might be nice at a certain club. And Manuel Locatelli is a victim of a lot of people getting on the bandwagon. 2 goals against Switzerland after getting a goal in the first match as well meant that he has had a tremendous tournament so far, and he's really been a really hot prospect for Sassuolo. I want to look at some of his stats, and in specific for Manchester United. Could he be the perfect pairing for Paul Pogba, who himself had a tremendous first match against Germany? So I want to look at some stats. I have 4 players here: N'Golo Kante, Manuel Locatelli, Fred, and Scott McTominay. Why N'Golo Kante compared to the 2 Manchester United midfielders? Well, N'Golo Kante is the guy who more than anybody else gets Paul Pogba to his very best. I'll have a video later on in the channel about what Manchester United should do this summer. Make sure you subscribe to get that. And Kante has been able to get a great Pogba for France, the one that Manchester United spent an otherworldly amount of money for when he was playing at Juventus. In terms of how they compare in per 90 stats in the Premier League for McTominay, Fred, and Kante versus Serie A for Locatelli, Locatelli has some sensational stats. Kante plays as a defensive mid, Locatelli plays as a defensive mid, and Fred and McTominay typically play as defensive mids together in a double pivot, or they play in a midfield 3. In terms of goals, assists, expected assists, really Locatelli takes the cake in comparison to almost everybody else. Only with McTominay and Kante taking 1, but Locatelli taking 2 in those 2 stats means that he's probably the most well-rounded in that area. Where he succeeds the most in these passing stats, unbelievable passing quality. You saw it in that first goal against Switzerland. He chests the ball down, he volleys it 40 yards out wide to Berardi, who starts the counterattacking move, and he makes a run from deep, and he picks up a goal, which he was quite good at Sassuolo last season. In terms of his passing numbers, he completes more than anyone else and still able to keep a very high percentage ratio. Completes long passes, key passes, passes in the final third into the penalty area, passes under pressure, and a lot of switches as well. And he also has more progressive passes than any of the other players. So in terms of his ability to play the ball under pressure, play the ball next to Pogba, he's dual-footed, really good passer of the ball. And that's a quality that's shown all throughout the time with Sassuolo, and it's why he's one of the best players in a very good Italy national team side. Goal and shot creation, one of the better players in terms of these 4 guys as well. Defensive actions are where the transfer comes to have a few question marks. I think what's pleasing, I would say, are the percentage numbers. Percentage of dribblers tackled and percentage of successful pressures. In comparison to the raw numbers, which Kante just absolutely dominates in, Locatelli has a good ability to be mediocre to a bit substandard in certain areas, but it's not the end of the world because he's not getting burnt very often, he's not committing a ton of fouls, and he's actually not a terrible presser. Now, again, he's 23 years old, a lot of potential to improve, and his transfer fee has definitely escalated a lot. So when you try and compare him to how he would fit next to Paul Pogba, he's comfortable in a double pivot, has great passing range, and has shown good defensive prowess, and he plays in a very good Italy national team side. So you look at his ability to carry the ball, it's not like Kante's ability to kind of just be able to create things like that. But he's a very good player in a lot of different areas. And I think there are some notable flaws in his game that are being glossed over due to some great Euro performances. But underneath the surface, especially with these passing stats, and his ability to create from a deep line position, make him a very interesting prospect next to Paul Pogba. Would he be a good player at Manchester United? At Manchester City, he's also rumored there. Liverpool, Arsenal. A lot of different clubs in England are wanting Manuel Locatelli. Who would he fit best at? Or could he go to Juventus in Italy? Let us know in the comments down below your thoughts on Locatelli, on the topic of today's video, and let us know what you want to see in the future from the Footy 5. I'll be back with my dad in the next video. Just a short little one here on the Footy 5. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Take care.